me when she wants to be. Oh, I thought that was a tree. It's not a tree. Do you see what I see, Javi? It's not a tree. Oh, nice. On quarantine, we have a giraffe. There's something about giraffes always make me laugh. I don't know what it is. How shall I position for you, Mr. Cameraman? A boy. A very obvious boy. Good morning, sir. It's lovely to see a giraffe on quarantine again, especially on this misty morning. We saw 3 giraffes yesterday as well. Excuse me, everyone. My first sneeze of the day. I'm sure there's many more to come. Bless me. Louise always makes me laugh when I sneeze. She says, "Blessed be the fruits." If you don't know where that's from, then I shall let you figure it out. Many of you are commenting on how beautiful this boy giraffe is. Stunning. Yesterday we actually had a good visual comparison of a male giraffe with a female giraffe, because when you see them alone, they're huge. Giraffes are massive. And then, hello. You see the female and she thinks she's huge, and it isn't until you actually get a comparison with the male by her side do you realize how much bigger he is, and she's actually quite small. Same with elephants. That happened to us yesterday at Chitwa. We had a huge cow, and we were actually talking about how huge this cow was. Oh, he's about to cross right in front of us. And then a bull rocked up, and then we all realized together that actually he is so much bigger than her. I feel like I'm in the Mara. Nicola, such great questions today. Now, I have mentioned this on Drive before, so maybe people do know, but the most interesting thing for me about giraffes, who has disappeared, see how easy it is to lose the tallest mammal in the world? Just like that, gone. That I didn't know before. Science have only recently discovered that giraffes are not as silent as people think. Giraffes were always thought to be silent mammals. They really don't make much noise. They can make a sort of alarm bellow, they call it, when they want, but generally they're not loud. They don't alarm call as do impalas. They don't communicate with one another, or so we thought. However, the most interesting fact for me is that they did a study, and apparently giraffes are very vocal. Once again, us mere humans just cannot hear it. Same with elephants and their very low rumbles that is out with our hearing range. Giraffes are also said to be producing a noise that can only be described as humming. And they are said to hum all night long in order to sort of be aware of where one another are in the dark. They're diurnal animals, which means they're daytime animals, designed to be active during the day. And at night time, of course, they're probably vulnerable to predators. Lions will take down a giraffe. It's a cooperative effort. Do you think we should maybe go this road? Yes, I'm just about to take the wrong road. Apologies. So yes, they're said to hum to one another, and we just can't hear it. So it's happening just out with the human hearing range, and they're trying to keep in, since they can't keep in visual contact with one another, they're trying to keep in audio contact with one another for safety at night time. And Nicola, for me, that is the most interesting fact about giraffes, and I think there's a lot more that we also have to learn about them as well. So while I try to relocate my tall mammal, we are going to send you back to another very tall human.
I'm going to spend a little bit more time watching them build as the sun comes out, and while I do that, I'm going to send you over to Lauren with her giraffe.
We're still with our bull. He's too handsome to leave right now. And of course, bull giraffes are generally solitary, and they move from temporary association to the next one. So they form temporary associations with females, and they generally just move from herd to herd looking for the next female in estrus. They are not territorial. However, they are gregarious. I mentioned this yesterday, and they do prefer to be around members of their own kind. So you will find bachelors, males, will associate with other bachelors and form very, very loose bachelor aggregations. I wouldn't say herds because they don't have a herd structure. They form sort of, I think aggregations is a better word. So the bachelors can stick together, but male giraffes can also be very violent towards one another, and they use that long neck of theirs to violently fight, striving for dominance, and it's called necking, believe it or not. And they slam their necks into one another's sides, and using the two ossicones on the top of the head, they can really be very violent and do a lot of damage to one another. Oh, look at this, impala and giraffe. Sorry, I had to pay attention to that question. As soon as I heard the word unicorn, I thought I need to pay attention here. Sunny Kim, you are asking if I had to describe, this is question of the day. If I had to describe a giraffe or a unicorn to someone, which animal do you think would be more believable? I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I actually think a unicorn would be more believable. Sunny Kim, this is genius. Actually think about the features of a giraffe. And if you were describing this to someone from another planet, or someone who has maybe lived in a remote location all their life and never had any experience to the outside world, and you had to describe a giraffe to them, it would actually be rather unbelievable. A unicorn would probably be more believable. And of course, the unicorn is the national animal of Scotland, everyone. Yes, Scotland, we believe in unicorns. And we believe in them so much that they are our national animal. If you don't believe me, Google it. It's true. Oh, are we having a scratch? We're scratching. The giraffe is actually scratching itself on this marula. Just as the elephants do. And off he goes. We have actually got a lovely view of the wildebeest calves here, Davy. I know we saw them earlier, but we were in IR, which is not the best sort of way to view animals. We can see them, but it's not as beautiful as when you're in colour and the sun is coming up like this. Oh. They're getting so big. Now, one thing I noticed about this bull, before I forget, he had some sort of warty lumps on him. And this is something that's quite a concern for giraffes, because they can really suffer from the papilloma virus, which is very closely linked to herpes. And it is transmitted in various different ways, but it causes wart-like skin lesions on giraffes, and it can get very, very severe. It appears to be very irritating to them from what I can see, and the giraffes often rub that area against trees. And I just noticed that male was doing that, and when he walked past the car, I did see some warty-like bumps on his skin. And because they rub it so much due to the fact that it's irritating, they can actually cause the area to be open and then essentially become infected. It's really worrying for them. So it can be sort of self-limiting, and the virus itself can become very progressive, which means the wart-like growths can continue to grow and grow and grow. They are known to also cover giraffes' eyes, cover their ears, and it can really hinder them in their progress. And it's said to also affect their immune systems, so it renders them quite weak after a while. And it's been cited and recorded, should I say, quite widely now. There's many giraffes all over that are actually suffering from this. Now, the warts themselves are actually said to harden into a type of cancer called sarcoid. So it's quite worrying for the giraffe populations that this virus is affecting them. So it looks like Bushwalk team have actually found one of Darby and I's favourite creatures.
Indeed, we have.